easily fallen off. Bumper to bumper, it's all 100% built right here in the shop. 2011 F350 dually.
What's up, bro?
Man, I can't believe you've still been riding around like this, man.
I'm overdue, right?
Ooh, wait.
What we got here?
Oh, Heath, let's check it out.
Damn.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
So today I'm going out to Jose's house and meet with him. How you doing, man?
Good.
Jose's a repeat customer, which is my favorite. In fact, the first thing I see is the Kodiak we built. You got a project for me?
Yes, sir. Being that you done such a good job on my Kodiak, I got a new one I'd like for you to take a look at.
Let's see what you got. See, the old Kodiak's still looking good.
Oh, yeah. You see the looks that one gets?
Yeah. Man, this is it.
This is it.
Man, you told me you had a truck, man. You got parts.
Don't get scared. I mean, it's majority all there. This here, 1966 Chevrolet C10. Solid truck.
No rust on it, not all rusted?
No. I wouldn't have bought it if it was all rusted out.
Right. The Chevy C10 is one of my favorite trucks. With its iconic lines and body style, there are endless custom possibilities. So overall, it looks like it's pretty good condition, huh?
Yes, sir. I've owned the 66 truck about 3 months. Bought it from a neighbor of mine who had tore it down to rebuild it and never got around to it. I mean, of course, I want y'all to do a full-on like you did my Kodiak.
You know, that's always scary to come in, you know, second, third, fourth, 20th down the line. You don't know what parts are missing. It makes it a little more difficult when it's not a complete vehicle to start with. Motor.
Well, you want to see what it's got in there? So, yeah, it's going to be a motor.
Well, that's the way we like it. We just put what we want in it, right?
Right.
You know, there's a lot of things missing on Jose's truck. I mean, bumpers went like this and just, you know, think they should just go straight to the junkyard.
There is one thing that I want you to change that's maybe out of the ordinary. I want you to take this dash out.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to incorporate this style of dash into the truck you're going to build me.
You want to cut the dash out of this?
No. Not taking out of this car.
Jose is known in Houston for his Impalas. He has some of the nicest restorations I've seen. They're real showstoppers.
We'll get another one, but this dash in that
just
truck.
the Impala feel in it.
Yes. And then we're going to paint the style of trim off the Impala on the sides.
This style,
I like
60s,
more the 61 style.
61. So you want a Chevy Impala truck?
Basically.
Bringing the Impala side of his life into a truck build, I think it's a perfect fit. I mean, Impalas are, you know, prevalent in his life, and it's definitely going to make this one-of-a-kind truck.
The end goal is absolutely to drive it. I don't like trailering my stuff.
You want something you can just jump in, drive to California, win a car show over there, come back with the trophy in the back.
Drive it there and back. That's
right.
What I want.
Jose has a great idea, but at this point, this 50-year-old Chevy is basically just parts. Maybe the biggest challenge is there's a lot of work to make it right. I can't even tell you how many C10s we built at Extensive, more than I can remember. So I love combining the best of two classics, the distinctive body design of a C10 and the style and flair of an Impala. The key is making it seamless, so you can't tell where one ends and the other begins.
Man, I like these trucks.
This thing's cool. Good looking truck.
Ooh, what we got? Oh, man. I thought there's going to be something there. So we have a whole lot of nothing. So what's the plan?
We got a long list for this truck. I mean, we're building the whole truck. We're going to build cross between a 66 Chevy and like 60s Impala truck. My plan is a new 6.2 LS engine and a grill, bumper, and headlights. We'll hand make an air suspension for 24-inch wheels and tires. On the inside, we'll swap out that old dash with an actual 60s Impala dash, and we'll build one-of-a-kind interior, door panels, console, and seats.
You know, the cool part is C10s are so popular. There's so much readily available.
Thanks, man. You just jinxed that for us.
I did not. All right.
Finally, we'll give this truck a full paint job and airbrush Impala trim down the sides. There will not be another one like this anywhere.
Man, the airbrush gotta look really badass on this truck, make it look cool.
It does.
What are we gonna call it? We gotta come up with a name.
Huh?
C10 Alma? Is that what this is? Imposter. Because it's not really an Impala, it's a truck.
Pasta?
Man, that does sound good. I'm hungry too.
Whatever it's called, anytime we take over someone else's build, I'm always worried what we're gonna find. But we'll never know for sure until we tear it down. Man, you ready to do this?
I guess.
Let's just get it on the lift and
Take it apart.
start cutting.
Grab that side of the hood. Let's pull it out. Put it on top of here for now. Pull it up.
Before we get it back up, let's get the glass out, pull the bed, pull the rear end, then we'll cut the frame.
All right. Not bolted. Not even bolted. Hey, Bill, there's no bolts in this bed, man.
Then I hope there is. Then hauled it on a wrecker over here.
For real, it's not bolted down. Check it out. On the back or on this side.
Oh, man. More often than not, when we get vehicles from other shops, there's been corners cut. And those can be dangerous corners. Oh,
Hey, made it here, so.
good thing it didn't on 59. If I would have hit a bump, this could have easily fallen off. We got lucky.
What's the plan, Bill?
Roll it as far as we can and take the bed off.
Help us take the bed off real quick.
Man.
What's up, man? Woo.
Look, what I tell you about doing side work, man.
Man, I can do a better job than that.
Man, I hope so. To make this truck ride low, somebody cut a notch right into the frame. That weakens it, and that's no bueno. What does that side look like?
This side's worse.
Yeah, they made room to lower it, but this thing gets in an accident, gets rear-ended, this thing can fold up and break in half. I mean, we'll definitely cut that section out. You know, this truck's like an onion. You can just peel back the layers. It's enough to make you cry.
What happened now?
No matter what we do, we're still gonna have the factory frame under it. Let's just build a whole new frame. Front bumper to back bumper. I was trying to clean stuff up like this. Man, all this, there's no matter what we do, you can't get rid of this. Just start fresh. You know, there's no sense even trying to salvage this frame. It'd be faster, safer, just to build a whole new frame from scratch. Let's do it. I built at least 60 custom frames over the years. Each one is completely one of a kind. Start drawing the new chassis for the 66 Chevy. The way I lay these out on paper is just a quick little sketch that, you know, that's the way I've been doing it all my life. Bumper to bumper, it's all 100% built right here in the shop. Cool, man. Now we got all these measurements. Let's transfer them to the table. Once we have everything transferred to the table, you can start cutting the pieces, man. Go. Little jigsaw puzzle, right? Building a custom frame that's the first thing you do when you're building a custom car. Everything 100% level, true, square. We'll go from 2x4 here, the main tube, up to 2x3. There's no compromises and something like that. I mean, this is the whole foundation for the whole vehicle. So this has to be absolutely perfect. You're gonna make two like that, 90 degrees.
All right.
And
Perfect.
And once.
Right. All right, man.
All right, holla if you need.
Bill basically got all the templates cut out, all my measurements and everything. So what I'm going to do is cut everything in doubles on our saw. I need to go ahead and hurry up and get this done properly. Bill's a perfectionist. He expects a lot out of me, so I need to do a good job.
I think we're ready to go.
Yeah?
custom frame for the 66 Chevy C10. The major advantage of building a full chassis is just rigidity, the looks. This is stronger now, this custom frame, than the factory frame, ever imagined to be. Just get it squared real quick. 126 and a half. Ready?
Yeah.
126 and an 8. On the frame, we're dealing with less than 1/16 inch tolerance. This thing needs to be exact. Our name is on the in 5/16. The tape measure is crooked where you're holding it. There you go. That's it, man. It looks good, man. Now to mock up the positioning of the axle. All right, ready?
Yep.
Alright. Got a little weight to it. It all works together. The position of the axle dictates where we install the air suspension, which creates the stance of the truck. Let me scoot it back a little bit and we'll get a center line of where to start from.
Okay.
You need to scoot back or what?
Yeah, I'm good right here.
On a job like this, we like to use 1 1/4" Schedule 40 pipe to make the frame more rigid. And it's not just function. I like that it gives it a unique look. Man, it's pretty close, a little step closer. We're just gonna keep adding pipes and weld it to the frame and turn it into a work of art. By the time we're done with this, there's gonna be probably 85 to 100 feet of just rolled pipe just to make this over the top. Most people just build frame rails front to back, just bare minimal. What I like doing is just creating something totally different, something nobody's ever seen before. Damn, that looks good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad our old client Julio is coming back to Extensive. A couple years back, we built this 2011 F350 for him. But we have some unfinished business.
What's up, man?
What's up, bro? How you been?
Man, all right.
Yeah? Good to see you, good to see you.
Man, the old thing's still looking good.
Yeah, it's running real good, man. I acquired the 2000 F350 about 2 years ago, and I immediately brought it to Extensive to get the suspension done. Get a lot of attention, bro, everywhere I take it, from just driving around in town or towing a 2-car hauler, it turns a lot of heads.
Hell yeah.
Now we just got to finish off the interior. Obviously, I get a lot of props because of the suspension and big wheels, the 26-inch Forgiatos. A lot of people look at the vehicle and they're curious to see what the interior looks like. So I had to tint the windows super dark because the interior's not done.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, man. I'm overdue, right? Man, I can't believe you've still been riding around like this, man. Come on. We're past due. Not everyone has the time and the money to do it all at once. It's pretty common to finish these builds in stages. Man, we need to make the inside of this look just as good, better than the outside. Right? Man, I love that flowing console. Definitely cover the seats. Headliner, build new door panels. I'm all for it. I know Bill and the crew here at Extensive Metalworks are going to do a great job, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's go get you hooked up. Let's do it. I know you want some crazy stereo in there, too. Let's make it happen. Not everybody can just come drop off a car and say, here you go. Let me know how much I owe you at the end. Sometimes you get projects in that come in stages. And here we are with Julio's truck. Man, he's in for the last little stage of his build. Been a long time coming, as you can see. It's well worn. So we're going to get him hooked up. The outside of the dually looks fresh and one of a kind. So for the interior, I'm thinking we'll color match everything to the dark brown of the dash. Handmade leather seats, custom headliner, door panels, kicks, and topped off with a slick stereo system. All over. So I asked Heath and Jonah to rip out all the factory stuff, everything.
I'll go ahead and start unbolting these seats. Okay. You start jerking off these door panels. Cool. And I don't mean that in a bad way. This truck started out as a work truck.
Interior's just torn up from daily use, but that's cool. You're not gonna be able to recognize it when we're done. You got it.
Ta-da!
Okay, I got my chipboard up here. It's gonna be a template for our console that's gonna actually flow right into our wraparound. To do that, I need to make a template first that matches all the way to the dash. And then I'm gonna cut it out of some 1/2" MDF. We're gonna do a process called kerfing, which will allow me to fold the wood, basically bend it, to get our nice little curves that we need.
F350 interior design is well on its way.
Heath is working the console into shape.
The lid of this console, we have to curve the wood. We've got it marked off in certain segments, which will allow me to fold the wood. We cut it almost all the way through, leaves a thin layer on top, which keeps it attached, but allows you to curve it. Okay, we got all our curving done. As you can see, we got our shape. It's gonna curve just like we want to follow the curve of the console. So now I gotta attach it to my sides that I already made, body work it out, make it look cool. Once the body filler hardens, I sand it smooth, and then I bevel the edges. This gives it awesome lines and curves.
So far, Julio's F350 interior is looking great, but the part that needs the most attention is the seats. So I got Jonah hand making the ultra leather parts for the seat covers.
I'm gonna get these two glued together. We'll glue the vinyl on here, we'll get it pressed in there, and then that should give us the nice look of the dash that we're going for. So when working this vinyl, you want to start from the center and go out. If you don't, you'll get a bunch of pulled vinyl in the wrong spots. And there's our insert. I can start sewing it in with the rest of my patterns. All right, now that I have this thing all sewn together, we're gonna slip it on here and it should fit first try. Fits nice.
With the new frame on Jose's 66 C10 built, it's time to start thinking about what's going under the hood. Jose picked his own engine and it just arrived at the shop.
What kind of motor is this, man?
6.2 out of Escalade.
Build or stock?
No, this is stock, man, but it comes with 400 horsepower stock, so it should be good to go.
Hell yeah.
She's yours now. Man, that ain't what I want to see. Jose didn't tell me he's got a 6-speed. I knew Jose was getting the 6.2, but the 6-speed is way bigger than I expected. It's 16 inches. Man, there's no way that's going to fit underneath there. You got to cut a huge hole in the tunnel to make room for this thing.
If stuff like this didn't happen, I wouldn't have nothing to do.
Well, in that case, you can cut the tunnel out.
Great.
Our only choice is cutting a hole in the floor and making it fit.
Hey, close the door.
You ever punch yourself in the face doing something like that?
Nah, you?
Of course.
Hold on, mate. You got these wires.
16. This truck, there's plenty of room to work with. Later model vehicles, you run into a lot of factory AC. It's kind of nice to get a job like this where you can just get in, cut it out. We're cutting a hole in the firewall on the floor that's just big enough for the engine and transmission to fit through. Yeah.
Ready?
Yes, sir, I am ready.
Here goes nothing.
Come on in. Pick up right here. Pick up more. We're going to check to see if our measurements work correct. That went way easier than I thought it would. While we reinforce and weld this tunnel, the engine's going off to get painted.
Jose's really into the Impalas. He has a couple of them at his house. So what we're going to do on this truck is keep the Impala theme. So to take it over the top, we're going to cut this dash out and put an Impala dash in this truck. Now we have the stock dash cutout, let's just hope Spot can find us an Impala dash. If not, we may be making one.
So today, I'm out hunting a 1960s Impala dash. Luckily, Houston has one of the largest Impala communities, and one of the best places anywhere is run by my boy Bruce.
What's up, brother?
Doing all right. He does some truly top-notch restorations himself, and usually has whatever Impala parts you need.
What you looking for today?
Man, I'm looking for some parts.
Impala parts, I hope.
For sure. Specifically one thing. Dash. But for a truck.
Oh, a truck?
Yeah.
We need to find the right length of it, and so it'll fit in. You won't have any gaps or anything.
Exactly. Even if we got to cut it up, though, we'll make it fit.
Perfect.
Man, you always got all the cool stuff.
My organized mess.
There you go.
All right. Here's some of what I got. How about this one?
Man, that is badass. Only thing is, I was hoping that you had the whole dash, cut out around the windshield.
If this won't work, I have a couple full dashes I could let you check out. Watch your step. This one is out of a 5960 Impala. All the gauges are complete. It has the radio, the glove box.
Looking for?
I guess the only thing is to talk about is price.
Would 400 buy it?
For a bill, I'll do it for 400.
Man, bet. Appreciate it.
Let's load it up.
Thank you, brother. I'll come back talk to you soon.
Cool. Take it easy.
Bruce gave us a smoking deal on this dash. It's got a little bit of rust, but I think it's going to look perfect in this C10 truck. Get it? Got it, man. You're going to like this one. It's clean.
The bottom, man.
Minus the rust. We're going to cut that off anyway.
Bruce came through, huh?
Man, it's the nicest one he had.
He probably had 5 or 6 of them laying around.
He had quite a few, man. Pieces and parts, everything.
Man, that thing's gonna look good in there. But let's get in the truck. Check it out. Yeah. The dash is better than I expected. The question is, how are we gonna fit it in this truck? Hold it right there. Could scoot it over. Well, all the way to the dash, that's gonna look, man, it ain't gonna look right. Man, if you center this up, man, the radio and everything is going to look offset. It's going to look out of whack. We knew this wasn't going to be an easy fit. The Impala dash is shorter than the C10 body, so it definitely doesn't look right. This ain't going to work. Of course, it wouldn't be that easy. Man, it ain't gonna work. Anytime you try to install a part out of a different vehicle, like we're doing with this 66 C10, you know you're gonna have some issues. You got your 2 buckets, you got your nice console that goes all the way up to the dash. See how it's not symmetrical there? It's all pushed over. It's gonna look just out of whack. Man, we're gonna have to cut it. We're gonna have to cut it and split it down the middle to make it symmetrical. So let's split it right down the middle, right around the radio bezel, and straight down right there. And then we'll move this whole side over, and then we'll add a little section right in it. It's gonna look good. We'll make it look good. That's how it is around here. The big bills and the... We're good. We do everything, but we're a metal shop first and foremost. That's why we have guys like Tim around. He's a finisher. He gets the job done. Now we have a dash cut apart. We need to fill these pieces back in with some sheet metal. The way we'll do that, we'll usually overcut it. If you cut it a little bit bigger, trace it back with a pen. You can use your snips for a real precise cut. And when you go to fill it in, the metal butts up really well, and it's easier to weld back together. This way, the body guys won't have to use as much filler to make the body completely smooth.
Jose wants an Impala truck, Tim and the guys are going to install Impala door handles.
We took the whole Impala handle, and this sheet metal already has an indention and indention where it fits real good. We're going to cut out this Impala door handle out of an existing Impala door, and Fernando's going to fit it into the Chevy truck. What he's going to do now, basically got a round surface to something kind of flat. So you got to manipulate it to the door to make it fit the door real smooth. And these old cars are good about having a real thick quality door. Any aftermarket door skin you try to buy is real thin, real flimsy. These work real well to retrofit them into other doors. So now what we'll do is get this cleaned off real well, and then they'll come back and start laying some body wear and do some primer, and we'll be on to paint.
Heath and Jonah are finished making the interior pieces for Julio's F350. Now it's time to install them. We pretty much made everything in here. So now this truck is finally custom inside and out. Place with him and his boys all hanging out to show him his new interior. Julio, I know we've been friends for a long time. You've been a great customer. Man, I know you've been going to the shows, Julio. Pull up in the dually, looking good, but with your dark ass windows.
So it's been terrible having to go to shows in the dually and not being able to show the inside. I mean, for a while, it's kind of embarrassed. You and my guys are always giving me a hard time. So I'm anxious to see what Bill and the guys have come up with. I'm ready to see it. Where's it at?
Let's give my boy Heath to bring it around.
Can't even see inside of it.
That used to be a good thing.
What's it gonna be? What we got here?
Come on, Heath, let's check it out.
What you guys think, huh? Yeah. Look at that. So wow, it was crazy whenever Heath pulled up and opened that door, just seeing my interior is phenomenal.
Man, my guys, Heath, Jonah, they just kick ass on every project, no matter what it is.
The hard part about this truck was making the inside look as good as the outside. It's got a good, elegant, but tough feel to it, man. I hope you dig it, brother.
I love it, man.
Yeah. It's, man, you know, the wrap around through the back, it just hugs you when you sit in it, man. It just is super comfortable. I mean, even to the door panels, you see just completely sculpted, all handmade by this man right here. They're just stylish and really loud. I mean, there's a lot of power in this thing. There's 3,000 watts in this truck.
Damn.
10-inch sub that just, you feel it.
Yeah, I'm really happy the way it came out. I can't thank you guys enough, man.
Hell yeah.
Now the truck's really complete.
Almost.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna pull this tin off now. You know, Julio's not gonna have any problems having to, you know, be embarrassed to having the door shut at the show anymore.
You did a badass job, bro.
Thank you, man.
Look forward to doing plenty of business together, man.
Hell yeah. Framework is something Extensive is known for. Case in point, the frame on Jose's 66 C10. But that's no good hidden, so I'd asked Rudy to make a trap door in the bed. With the flip of a switch, that electric actuator will lift up and show off that frame.
So we got these hinges here. Once we get these both, so once the truck lays out, the door will open, and you'll be able to see the whole custom frame we've done. I'm gonna have to modify it. The spar doesn't want to sit into place where it needs to be. I'm gonna have to modify the hinges here. They're still too high.
Whenever you're fabricating a custom part, like Jose's trap door on the 66 C10, there's always a lot of cutting and welding to get it just right. Rudy's got to modify those hinges so it'll lift that bed smoothly.
So that'll work. We can actually see how they're going to actually work. So once the truck hits the floor, it opens the door. Dope. Hinges are all welded up to the frame. Now we're going to go ahead and just add 3 more pieces of the cross members just to reinforce it, give it a little bit more strength because it's going to carry all the wood on top of it. Once we put that in, we'll test the frame and see how these hinges work. All right. There we go. Once the truck hits the floor, door will go up. You'll be able to see all the hard work Jamie and Bill did, make it look all nice and fancy.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Tighten this up. Right now we're just mocking up the last little bit of the suspension, just the upper control arm mounts. Once we have those in place, the next step, building the bag mount, shock mounts, then the suspension is totally done.
Looks good right there.
Crank it up.
All right.
As you can see, we got all the geometry right. The thing at rod height is absolutely perfect. When we deflate it, let all the air out, the truck sets completely flat on the ground, even with the huge wheels. So that's exactly what we want. We don't want the wheels to look like the truck's broke. We want everything to look like it's right on the money. So that's what it is. Man, Jamie, that fits good. Before we paint, every vehicle goes through rigorous bodywork preparation. The old paint gets stripped off and every scratch, dent, hole gets filled. When everything's flawless and perfectly smooth, we move it over to paint. I'm gonna go with the metallic root beer color, which will add even more style to this iconic truck. And Charlie's gonna make this paint really stand out.
So for the 66 C10, there's a lot of curves and stuff in there. So with the brown that we've chosen and the metallics and the pearls that are all in it, it just gives the whole thing a different effect. Every angle that you look at it, every way you look at it, or every light that you put it in, it'll actually give it different tones. So when you're spraying paint, a lot of these guys, that's their number one deal where they fail. You know, you can't just point a gun and think that it's gonna cover everything. You know, every angle that the panel has, your fan needs to be facing that panel so that way you get maximum coverage on everything. So you don't have dry spots in it, clouds in it, or anything like that. You know, Jose's gonna take this truck to a lot of different big shows. Everybody's gonna have this truck under the finest microscope. So everything on this truck has to be perfect.
Jose specifically didn't want chrome trim on this truck, but he wanted to airbrush it instead. To do this, we bring in one of the best airbrush guys around to get that perfect chrome look. I know we talked about a 60 Impala trim, but I want to switch this. Gotcha. Truck. You know, I think like a 62 Impala trim is going to look the best. You know, fit the body lines of this thing the best.
You're right. No swoops or nothing. It just streamlined.
Yeah.
I think it look good too.
Hell yeah.
The yellow tape is really, I'm using it as a guide. I wanted to come off this body line, or this seam, so to speak. I wanted to come off that a certain amount of distance, and this blue fine line tape is what is going to be the definition where the simulated chrome is going to start. Once I get it laid out, then I'll start spraying in the colors as I go. All right, what I'm doing now is just mixed up some white. This will be my base for the chrome. Once this is on, I can come back with my airbrush and start putting different shades of black and blue and everything to give it that reflective look. What I'm doing now is our horizon line. So these are going to be three-dimensional looking, so they look rounded, and everything that's on the bottom side of the horizon line is going to be dark, and everything on the top side is going to be light, and that'll give the impression that it's double chrome.
I've been a junkyard kid. Basically, I grew up around hot rods. I was helping my dad in the garage, and this is pretty much what I was born to do. So here at Extensive, I'm a welder fabricator. Basically, anything Bill needs to have handled, he'll put me on a job and I'll complete the task. I've been here for about 4 years now. It's been quite a learning experience since I've been here. Every time I work with Bill, I learn something new. I couldn't ask to work with anybody smarter or better than those about fabrication, welding, or air suspension, period. When I had a chance to come work here, I jumped right on it. I told him basically I could build a space shuttle and made him laugh. Packed my stuff in garbage bags within an hour and was on the road heading to Houston to come work at this shop.
Things are coming together on Jose's C10. To make the truck pop under the hood, I've had the frame powder coated and parts of the engine polished. Now we're marrying them together.
That's it, Matt. All right, cool. Bring it down the rest of the way. All right. Good, it's there.
While the guys bolt the cab to the frame, we're going to install the hardwood into the bed. A type of wood from West Africa that looks like zebra stripes. While the bed is being finished, the rest of the team is getting the front of the truck buttoned up.
All right, hold right there.
So it's an all hands on deck situation. We're getting the truck ready for delivery, and it's out the door.
Go forward. Should be it right there, huh? Gotta kind of go low with it.
Dang, it's slippery.
Now to get the bed attached.
Going up.
We'll go ahead and bolt that bed and we can test out the trap door.
And as a final touch, Rudy's installing the actuators to lift the bed.
So this is our actuator. It's gonna pretty much open and close our trap door. We're gonna go ahead and place it here, bolt one to the frame, then one to our trap door, and this rod will pretty much push out, which is gonna lift up our trap door so we can take a look at all the good work we did on this frame. Who said we couldn't pop trunk with the truck?
Jose gets together once a month with all his boys. All of Jose's buddies are classic Impala collectors. They're a wealth of knowledge here today. And, you know, what better place to show off his Impala truck? Right here. Jose, short time ago, you had parts of a truck. You didn't have a whole truck, but you had a nice little project.
Nice project, absolutely.
Remember, no motor, no interior, missing pieces, a lot.
Missing a lot of pieces.
A lot. You wanted to bring little Impala touches into the build, into the 66. I think you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
I can't wait to see it.
Let's get old Jamie to bring it out for you.
When that door opened, it was unbelievable. Way more than I expected. Color was unbelievable.
The way the sun hit it, it just looked beautiful.
Wow.
Wow.
Very nice.
When that thing hit the floor, oh my gosh. It was like, it was wow.
That's unbelievable.
He's a great fabricator, and, you know, we handmade every part and piece of the suspension, frame, everything.
Looks good, man.
You have a one-of-a-kind 66 Chevy.
Wow. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to get it to some of the local shows and maybe even some of the out-of-town shows. And I'm not worried about the trophy side of it because it's going to win. I mean, there's not another one out there like that right now.
I mean, first thing you see is the smooth bumper, grill, all color matched.
Right.
Of course, you can't miss the 24x10s in the front, 24x15s in the rear. Thing just looks like a steamroller going down the road. And of course, the Impala trim on the side.
And that had to be there. Something Impala had to be in there. Absolutely.
That airbrush looked badass.
I know y'all see that stripe on the side. Anybody guess what year? 62.
Man, you talking to Impala guys, really? You talking to Impala boys. With the airbrushing on the side, that was just an added detail that I wasn't expecting, but it sure did make it made the truck, if you ask me.
Even the door handle, man. You probably didn't even notice. It's got an Impala door handle.
I noticed. You ain't gonna get that one by me.
Wood bed. It's a zebra wood in the back, man. It's really unique, one of a kind. It is all handmade.
Zebra wood.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed. But that's good. Man, you guys really outdid yourselves. That's unbelievable.
Got you a little something special in the back, too. The switch. Got a little compartment back here where you can just show off that custom framework and all the powder coating. 9-inch rear end.
Wow, look at that. Unbelievable.
That was good.
Wow. That is unbelievable.
Jamie and I put a lot of hard work into this frame. Now Jose can open this bed up and show the world just what we created. Let's check out the interior.
Let's do it. Wow.
How pretty.
That dash, man.
Man, you guys went above and beyond what I was expecting. It's unbelievable.
That's what you wanted.
That's what I wanted. But you wanted to take my dash out of my car. That wasn't gonna happen. That Impala dash turned out pretty sick. I mean, they did a great job.
And that's what Extensive does. They do unique projects.
Let's check out the motor.
Ooh.
There you go. Wow. But is it fast?
Hell yeah, it's fast. There's 6.2 LS, 6-speed transmission. That thing does haul ass.
That's exactly what I was hoping for.
Hearing about this truck for so long and to actually see it, it was beautiful. And finally it was done. And, and he's happy.
You and the guys at Extensive did way above my expectations, man. Jamie, great job, bro.
Thanks, man.
That's unbelievable.
I know Jose really likes this until you see what's underneath.
So it's either good, fast, or cheap.
Pick 2, pick 3 in this case.
I can't believe y'all gonna let this man cut this top.
This is a 2006 Kodiak that we cut in half and stretched.
We're trying to take it to the next level and get it back on top of the game.
Wow, man.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
Houston has so much going on all the time, and Extensive is thankfully right in the middle of it. To meet rapper and entrepreneur is a fixture in the southern rap scene, especially right here in Houston.
What's happening, Bill? My man, how you doing?
Man, real well.
Hey, Slim. Real deal, Bill.
What's happening, man?
Good, man. Thank you for coming out, man.
Yeah, man.
What's going on with
Spot.
Good to meet you, man. Good to meet you.
Slim and I grew up in the same part of town, the north side. Slim is known for his custom cars, which have a habit of ending up in his music videos, and he wants to add to his collection.
Man, I got this big dinosaur out here, man. I need you.
The 1959 Caddy was totally futuristic for its time. They even fashioned this thing after jet airplanes. What are you feeling?
This has been my dream car, man, for the last 10 years. So, it's real special to me, man. It's just such a classic. I want to make sure I do it the best. And I know you're the best in town when it comes to dropping it to the flow.
That's right.
So I need to bag it up and swag it up, man.
Definitely build you a badass car.
If you know anything about making that car sit low to the flow, Bill is one of the best, man. He just got that name in the streets. Plus, he from the North. He from that North side. From that North. Representing the North. Together, you know what I'm saying? That's what we do. Hands down, this got to be the best ass I've seen on a Cadillac. What you think?
Man, no doubt. The 1959 Caddy.
I want to look like Batman when I hit the block.
That's the best car you could have got to look like Batman.
That's what I'm talking about. What can we do with it?
Man, what can't we do with it?
Well, as you can see, you can tell I love that black. My brother Ray had a good idea, though. Man, I was thinking black is chrome.
So black on black on black?
That's pretty much the dress code around here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in too good around
exactly,
here, huh?
Man. You see what it look like around here, man. I got this sore thumb sticking out on me, man, so I need your help.
Man, it must be really nerve-wracking knowing You've got to build a car to park next to a Rolls Royce.
Nah, we're gonna make the Rolls Royce look bad.
I have to agree with that. Where'd you get this at?
Pennsylvania. We seen this car online, and we just shucked the dice and got it and got lucky with it.
Whenever a car comes from that part of the country, I get super nervous what could be under all that paint. If this car's been sitting rusty for 50 years, it can make for a tough build.
Look at that, Bill. That's bad.
Man,
That's pretty rough. Not that bad. Yeah. Well, I know you're the one who can do this.
I think we're gonna take it from a 10 to 100. Slim, when you gotta have this thing back, man?
I need this thing by the end of summer, man. I got a real big party for my birthday, and I really want to put that shine on them one day time, man.
Can't say no to Slim.
Look me up, man. Let's get it, Bill. Yes, sir.
That's right. Since I started Extensive 20 years back, on all of our builds, I try to raise the bar higher and higher. Slim has the same rep with his music and cars. You know, this won't be the first 59 custom caddy, but this is going to be the new gold standard.
Look at this bad boy.
We got to build this car the biggest, the baddest 59 there's ever been. It's got to be like one of his concerts on the road.
What's the game plan?
I want to make this caddy the future of custom caddies. It'll be black on black on black. Painting the body black with black chrome. Over-the-top sound system with 32 speakers in all.
He wants to piss off the neighbors when he comes home.
It's king of the no. He's got to have the king of caddies here.
I'm assuming a 1959 seat's not going to last for a guy that's 6'5", 6'7".
So here's what I'm thinking. A handmade black interior with custom leather seats to fit a guy as big as Slim. You're going to have to test drive this one because you know Spy can't be able to touch the pedal.
What's underneath the hood look like? Have y'all checked that out?
Tell you, there is no engine, no transmission, needs a wiring harness.
We're going to put a big bad engine in it, the 6.2 LS with 525 horsepower. And of course our own air suspension with 24-inch wheels and tires. Decent shape except for somebody's 1970 repair.
Well, at least they hit the center of the trim with the screws. Look at this. It's almost like making popcorn.
Rust flaking off a 60-year-old car is never good. Who knows what's under that red paint?
Don't worry about it, Timmy. You got this. You can handle it.
Let's strip everything. Let's get it to the blaster, and then we'll see what we got to work with. Before it goes out to media blast, Jamie's going to torch out the old shocks and springs so we can mock up the air suspension and engine.
I live and breathe this stuff. I've been doing this since I was a kid. My dad was in the hot rods, and here I am. But you don't do this kind of stuff to a new car. Older cars takes a little bit more work, a little elbow grease. Older cars just mean a lot more love than working on a newer car.
With the undercarriage tore out, we got room to mock up the suspension. This is where the car is going to sit when you deflate all the air out of the suspension. You see something like that, the Slim doesn't have a choice but to like this.
When you inflate the airbag, it's going to pivot on this point, lower the rear end down, which will raise the car. When it airs out, it'll go back up to where the rear end is, and it'll lay the car out. These heavy-duty U-bolts assure that the two-link is firmly attached.
Perfect. This thing is going to drop super low. We're taking off all the chrome. I've asked Charlie to make that chrome black for Slim's 59 Caddy.
We are fixing to spray some of Slim's parts. The process, we've already done the black on it. Now we're fixing to go in and shoot the chrome. You have to take your time with it, make sure you do it right and make sure you got the even amount of coats on there. If you don't, it will definitely become splotchy or cloudy or anything like that. So you definitely want to know what you're doing when you come in there spraying this stuff. Now we'll do the black tint to give Slim that black that he asked for. What I'm doing here is I'm checking, because if you don't, we'll go just a dab more. Here we are, 5-6 coats later. And now we got this thing where we want it to be, so we want to get some clear on it, so you can have that black on black on black.
Slim's big 6.2 is on order, but luckily we have a mock-up engine so we can make sure everything fits in place. And we got a big purple transmission that we can fit onto it too. Once it's all mocked up, we'll know what we're up against. Coming to Jamie's truck?
I think he painted it with them glasses that he got.
Purple Rain tribute truck.
Something like that anyway. I actually like the color. It ain't that bad, but it's just not going to work with what we're doing right here. So I'm sure we're going to have to tear it down and repaint it.
Here we go. You got it, Jamie?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Down just a little bit.
Watch yourself, Jamie.
Man, this ain't gonna work. The pan's gonna hit the steering.
Watch your fingers. Is it the purple transmission giving y'all problems?
Ain't the transmission problems, the oil fan problems.
There's no way this oil pan's gonna fit as is.
And Slim Thug's caddy doesn't fit. Man, let's just get it out real quick. We'll just cut the pan. We don't have time to wait on ordering one.
Time to chop it up.
Instead of ordering a better fitting oil pan, it's going to be faster to make our own, and ours will be a better quality anyway. I think it was time for him to change anyway. What do you think?
Nah, that's pretty black, man.
The world of custom creates problems, and this is just one of the things you deal with on a daily basis. We'll get it handled, whatever it is. So what we're going to do is cut a notch in the oil pan, create a new line, and then we'll make a custom cover. And all this will give us more room for the engine.
So we can take off an inch. We're going to cut it back a little bit further, make this line go a little bit further out, and then go down into the deeper part of the oil pan.
Just solving problems like this, cutting the pan, move the pickup tube back. Modifying, that's what we do around here.
That much more. Just the bottom will give it a slight little angle on it.
It's a real small space. We got to get the angle exactly right.
Perfect. Most of the time, you got to just take a little bit off, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. Finally, you'll get it.
Let's see what we got here. That should work. Man, that's notched out perfect. I think it's the perfect angle. I think it's going to work good. The new pickup tube is perfect. The engine should just fit. Buddy! Got something for you real quick, man. You just take this up. Make it look good, man. Not like last time. Jesse's one of our best aluminum welders. He'll make this oil pan work perfectly. Bolt it up.
Crossmember ought to clear here. Steering ought to clear here. It's the first time Jamie's had a dance in a long time. It's with a motor.
You got it, Jamie?
Yeah, I got it.
Time, huh?
About time.
Something like this should take 5 minutes. It takes 45 minutes. Ricky's on his way to the shop. He's one of my long-term customers, and he's always up in the game on everything he owns. So as you can guess, we get right along.
What's up, Rick? Got a little dirty. What's going on,
man?
How
you doing, man?
Good.
Ready to do something new, huh?
Yeah, we need to change it up.
This is the 2006 Kodiak that we cut in half and stretched. When we were done with it, nobody's seen anything like it before.
When this truck showed up to shows, everybody's mind was blown. But man, there's a lot of Kodiaks out there. A lot of guys are bringing out a bunch of nice show trucks, man. So
Yeah.
just want to revamp it,
Yeah, step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're trying to take it to the next level and get it back on top of the game. This paint's been on there for a while.
Yeah, I know you got a ton of paint work on the inside. You want to like repaint the whole thing, change the whole color?
Yeah.
These are from 11 years ago.
It's been a long time in there, man. That's gotta go. That was a gift.
For the record, Extensive didn't put that disco ball in. We never would have. You know, definitely wheels, tires, man, we got to step that up. The 24s were badass, 11 years ago, even 5 years ago. But, man, we at least got to have those 26s on it now.
A lot of these side-by-sides at the shows, man, they have everybody in the world with these loud speakers. I guess they're like marine-type speakers. Man, you can't hear this truck.
This isn't loud enough.
I mean, man, it's loud enough when you're going down the road, but at the show, when you're parked and everybody has their stereo on, you can't hear it.
Some speakers put in the bed.
Yeah, what do you think?
Something down low so you can't see it.
Yeah, we don't want it gaudy and still can use the bed, you know what I mean?
How you like it.
Yeah.
Not just loud, but...
Right.
That keep them boys trying to keep up with us.
Yeah, gotta stay ahead. Sounds good, man.
This brings back a lot of memories from built the bed for it, the air suspension on it, new headlights, running boards, moved the cab back 24 inches and built that center section. First built, I mean, this was one of one. That's why it's back, just to stay ahead. I mean, that's what we do, stay 10 steps ahead of everybody else. To get Ricky's truck back up on top, I'm thinking big. I set at 26-inch powder-coated wheels. Custom door panels, a top-of-the-line sound system, including marine speakers in the bed, and we'll paint this huge truck solid black. Once again, it has set the bar for custom Kodiaks. You know, our paint shop is totally overwhelmed. I got to get somebody in here that does a perfect job, and there's not too many people you can just call upon to drop what they're doing, get on a plane, come out and help you out, but that's my boy Zane.
What color are it gonna be now?
Big, bold, black.
It's a whole lot of red to make black.
It's gonna be a pain to take care of, but man, it's gonna give it what it needs, I think, to really set it back to the punch in the face. Here you go.
We'll kill this thing. Anytime you're painting one black, man, you don't want to miss. When we paint them black, man, all that stuff's going to show up. So if anything's not straight or not perfect, you're going to see it as soon as you look at that thing. John and Heath and the boys are going to start blowing some of the interior apart so we can get going on this thing.
These doors here on this Kodiak, they've seen their better day. So what we're going to do on this to get rid of all this old stuff and go to new, we're just going to cut the top of the door panel off and rebuild a whole bottom half of this door. Rock and roll. It's time to update them, make them a little bit better, see if we can't one-up ourselves on this one.
Zane is going to bodywork every last imperfection out of a Kodiak and prime it for its date with a midnight black paint job.
We start blocking it all on a hard block with some 180. Keep it in an X pattern always, so anything that's not straight, it's going to show. It's going to make me look bad, it's going to make Bill look bad, it's going to make everybody look bad. Ricky don't want it wavy, and I don't want it wavy, you know?
Bodyworks Kodiak Midnight Black.
The Kodiak's so big, we're going to use the forklift to get the bed off of it so we can get it into the booth. Now, come on. All right, you can go ahead and pull the slack out. Try to get that thing painted today so we can just keep on keeping on with it. All right, go back. Back. Doing it black too, I like to blow them apart. You know, we're not going to have any nasty tape lines on this thing, so we can really make this thing as nice as possible. The thing about
black paint. If it's got any kind of ripple, imperfection, any kind of wave through here, you're gonna see that. It's really gonna show, how good the bodywork really is out of this shop. As soon as it pulls up, you're not gonna miss it. It's gonna look like a big 30-foot long shadow coming through. Pretty menacing truck as it is, but this is really gonna set it apart from the rest of the stuff there. Once we get it all blocked out and buffed after we paint it, we want everything that you see in the reflection of it to look just like it did, if you were looking in a mirror.
We built the suspension and test fit the engine on Slim's 59 Caddy. Are you going to get that trim off right there? We're preparing to send it to Miller.
Bill. What's up, bro?
How you doing, man? What's happening, man? Come on.
Chilling, bro. I got an idea I want to run by you right fast.
What you got, man?
I just feel like I can't see it being the cleanest 59 in the city with a top. This is Houston, man. It's hot out here. Let's just chop the top, man. Chop the top.
Cut the top off.
You gotta come topless or you ain't coming down at all.
You're gonna lose. Let's make it a roadster.
I ain't pulling it out in the rain, so it don't matter.
That's custom.
That's custom. That's custom.
A 59 Caddy Roadster isn't something you see every day. And with all our other custom modifications, there won't be another one like this for sure.
What y'all fellas think?
How about the rolls, right?
No, I'm talking about this.
You really caught us just in time to do something like that. Because if you came an hour later, it'd have been too late.
It's meant to be, man. Let's do it, man.
You gotta do a little bit of reinforcing, man, but that won't take a second. Before we cut into any car, much less a rusty one, you gotta reinforce it with square tubing. That way everything stays straight. To change, you try to be accommodating. But when that client's Slim Thug, you just hand him the saw.
You ever cut a top before like this?
You can color in the color. Just follow the lines.
I can't believe y'all gonna let this man cut this top. Slim always been hands-on stuff. I been telling you all the time, man, you can't do that, but you hard here, you continue to do that.
That's why we balance each other out.
That's right, you see.
I got the crazy ideas, he the one trying to stop him all the time.
That's what it is.
Y'all ready for it? Here it is. Yes, sir. As I'm chopping the top on this car, I'm realizing that this is really like my passion. Bill, I need a job, man. I need a job. Building your own car, man, just like making a song, is priceless, man. And the feeling of knowing you created something, it's like having a baby.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
It is special.
You know, if this rapping thing doesn't work out, Slim can always come to Extensive and work anytime.
Golly, man.
That is.
Oh, man. No.
Hey, good job, man. Last couple of bolts out of the body. Separate the body from the frame. Get the frame out. Anytime you strip a car down this far, it really makes you nervous of what you're going to find from the past. It's probably been 59 years since this happened. Man, at first glance, it really looks rusty and scaly, but it's more dirt and grease than anything. As far as the body, this is pretty common just to replace a rocker panel, but my concern is how far into the car this rust continues and goes. You don't really know until you blast this thing to see what's underneath and what you got to work with when it gets back. So I'm super nervous right now to hopefully there's some car left when it gets back. Alright. Hey, we're gonna get the frame out to powder coat. And then we'll put the body on the cart so we can ship it off the blast. Let's get this out.
Finally, she's gone.
Slim was really lucky to find this 59 Caddy. But Pennsylvania isn't exactly possible to know how bad the damage is until we pick it up for media blast.
Looks good to me.
Media Blast takes off all the paint and filler. Hopefully we'll see a lot of metal, but I have my doubts.
This morning, Spot's bringing back the 59 Cadillac from the Media Blaster. It's the moment of truth. Today we're going to see how bad the body damage is.
All right, yeah, we got a lot of work here.
59 years old is definitely showing a little age.
Yeah, a little bit.
Robert is one of the best metal workers in town. He's been doing it longer than me. Not many people can say that in this town.
We can replace this whole panel.
Yeah. Man, this car's about as old as you are.
Nice. I've been doing metalwork since high school, 86, on my Volkswagen. Just evolved into anything I can imagine I build.
Just cut that whole thing out.
Yeah. That was all covered up with Bondo?
Yeah, man, Bondo was out to about here.
So it's either good, fast, or cheap. Pick two.
Pick three in this case.
We get it. I'm starting the floors. Get the floors right. And them actually to the side. Some folks just throw a piece of metal in here and weld it up, but to actually do it right takes the time. And when you get done, you get a better product. Now we clear coat it in. Everything underneath is coated. So now what we'll do is we'll start welding it in. There's no quick easy with sheet metal. It's either right or it's not right.
Last but definitely not least, Heath and John are getting rid of that disco ball in Ricky's Kodiak.
Hey, check it out, John. You light up my life.
Nice. Hey, I like to party.
Well, here we go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, party. Bill didn't want a disco ball, so what we had to do is make something to cover up the hole. We got a piece of panel board that we went ahead and curved to match the radius here. And then we're going to have an insert with the extensive logo right in the center. It's going to be raised up in some vinyl in the back. All look really cool.
Ricky's really loud. He wants something loud when he's at the car shows. What we want to do is add these 4 waterproof speakers to the bed. We don't want to drill any more holes in the bed side, so we're going to use the toolbox that's already there. Put an end brace, the pipe will go in the middle, we'll weld that out, and then send it off to paint. I'm going to hand it to these guys, we're going to bolt it in. And then the 4 speakers will mount to that curved bar. This should finish out the bed of the truck, and we're ready for Ricky to see it.
You know, Ricky is one of my all-time favorite customers. And today he's coming back to check out his Kodiak. I can't wait to show him what we did to him.
What's up, man?
What's happening, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
Doing all right?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good.
Man, I got a couple surprises for you today.
Hopefully one of them's my truck.
Well, yeah, one of them is.
Awesome. Where is it, man?
Let's check it out.
Holy shit. That's not the same truck, man. It's tucking a whole bunch of wheel on the front and the back now. God, dog, those bigger wheels made it look so much better. It looks brand new, man.
I mean, right then, you know you did a job well done.
This bumper and the lights and the grill, awesome, man.
Like brand new, man.
Hell yeah, man. Whole different truck, man.
Man, it is. It's bad.
First and foremost, the big 26-inch
Oh, man,
wheels,
they look awesome, man. I love them.
Totally makes this thing look night and day different.
Really does, man.
Still hook anything you want to it. The load rating's there on the back.
Good to
Can't
go.
kill it.
Whatever.
Man, whatever you want, man.
I love the color.
When you do the black right,
it looks good,
you see,
man. That paint is so sick. You can see yourself in that paint from 30 to 40 feet away. It looks like a piece of glass rolling by.
Man, you want to check the inside out?
Man, shoot, yeah.
Heath and John ripped out all the old door panels and everything. They rebuilt the whole thing. This part of the door panel replicates the headlights on the front, so it has that nice little...
Man, that's sick, man. I see it now.
And here's all redone too, Ricky.
Nothing looks the same.
had to get rid of the disco ball you had in there.
Man, that disco ball spun and spun and spun until it finally spun itself out of the truck. We just let it keep spinning down the road.
I'm kind of happy it's gone myself, but man, it looks so much better with that extensive logo in there, and that truck is badass.
Man, all new stereo system. We know how you like to just be louder than Ricky.
Remember though, Ricky was saying he wanted a little bit louder outside?
We mounted 4 8-inch full-range marine-grade speakers in the back of the truck.
God,
they don't hurt,
man.
They don't hurt to get wet, and nobody is going to drown you out over these, man. Spot, crank it up, man. Let's hear it.
All right.
God, dog, man.
Ain't nobody going to have a louder one than that, Rick.
I'm glad. Good. Can't hear you. What'd you say?
I mean, you can hear this from a mile away.
Man, you can put a tarp back here and fill it with water and have a hot tub with your system in it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And my guys just kill it on every project. The new door panels, the sound system, the speakers in the bed, the wheels, the tires, the paint, which is a lot of paint on this. And Ricky he's in love with the truck.
Man, I can't wait to take it on a ride.
I got one more surprise for you.
Oh, yeah?
I know how you're a fan of rap music, so we're going to use this to pull Slim Thug's new car to his party.
Oh, man, that's awesome, man. So if you're from Houston and you're not a fan of Slim Thug, you're crazy.
Let's do it, man.
Sounds good, man.
Much bodywork left on Slim's 59 Caddy. Robert's done with the floor pans, but he needs to completely replace the damaged side panel.
This was filled up with body filler before after this bad wreck, so all this metal has to go. This will all be brand new, just like it was from the beginning.
To the bodywork on the 59 Caddy, but Robert still has a long way to go to make this the futuristic, one-of-a-kind roadster that it wants to be.
This is the English wheel. When you run the metal through here, you can get the contour of the roll and spread it throughout the panel. And this will give me the bend, make the panel lay right on top of what's there, so we can cut it out and replace it, and it'll be all brand new. Well, we don't need this anymore. We've coated everything with the aluminum since we're never going back in. So that way we'll never have to worry about rust. So now we're ready to Cleco our piece in and cut it in and weld it. And then when I tack it, the little piece that we're Clecoed to will fall off on the inside. Okay, so our panel's welded in now. Just got a few hot spots to worry about. We'll take care of them and it'll be all new, one panel all the way down. Lay the wire on here. It kind of conforms to the body. It'll tell you where the high spots are, where there's going to be a little filler at. And it looks like we're going to be good right here.
Cutting the roof off the Caddy was the right call, but it created a whole lot more work. Because there's no windows, Robert has to form some metal to cap the doors to hold it all together.
59 Cadillac now is sunny weather car, can't drive it in the rain. So we had these caps made, fit right in here like this, be welded down smooth, brown, ready for paint. Seal welded now, it's welded solid, smoothed out, it's ready for some body filler.
It was original and what's custom.
We have put in so many hours into making this car perfect. I've sanded on this car until my fingertips started bleeding. You know, when you spray any other color, you get away with a lot of stuff, but black, it has to be flawless from start to finish all the way through.
At After weeks and weeks of work on Slim's Caddy, it's finally ready for Charlie to paint it black on black on black.
We're gonna do about 12 coats of paint. It's gonna be like he's gonna be rolling up on a huge black diamond. It's gonna shine so bright. His car will stand out next to any black car that's parked next to. Growing up, I was listening to Slim Thug while painting cars, and now here I am painting his car, you know, so that's a really cool thing right there for me.
You know, I really hate when you see a car with just speakers crammed everywhere. I've asked John to find a way to hide all those 32 speakers in Slim's Caddy.
We're having to squeeze 10 subs in the trunk. The trunk I'm having to do is build it in 2 pieces and actually bolt the 2 halves together to make one entire enclosure. So when you open the trunk, all you're going to see is trunk. You won't see any of the equipment. Box fits, that's always a plus. To run it all, I got 6 visible amps and I got 2 more hidden in here somewhere. This piece here is going to cover up batteries and everything else and hold the other set of speakers that go in the trunk. Lucky enough, everything I've worked on so far is fit, so now that I got the trunk looking good, it's time to hide 4 more speakers in each door panel. So once I get my baffle in here, I'm going to have to deaden this. You know the cars you see on the streets, when they've got so much bass, the car sounds like it's about to fall apart. But what we're doing with the deadener is we're going to stop that. We're going to make sure we don't have any rattles anywhere in this car. All we want is music coming out of this car. We'll get 3 or 4 layers in some spots just to make sure that we have enough density in the door so that we don't have any kind of flex or anything in the panels. All right, so we've got our baffle mounted. Everything's boxed in. We've got all of our deadener in the door. Next thing we're going to do, we got a base plate made. We'll make another piece out of 3/4 inch MDF. We're going to flush trim that. We're going to go to work with the grinder and make some cool shapes out of this. First, with the door panel, some depth. I'm going to be grinding from one edge to the line, from the other edge to the line, bringing a ridge around the top. It'll have a couple of lines in it instead of just a single line. That'll look pretty cool. All right, so there's the door panel all done. Speakers will be in this area here. We'll make a grill to cover it. Cover that in black grill cloth so you'll never even know that the speakers are in the door. Wrap this in leather, get it in the car. We'll move on to the next panel.
When I was like 14, a guy in my little hometown had a little truck that he would drive through the middle of town. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I'd make my mom go by this guy's house and just the truck would be in the driveway and I'd be like, oh man. He and I became really, really good friends for 30 years now. And that's how I got into the car scene. This here is my personal 2008 Chevy Silverado. It was a standard crew cab truck that Bill said, hey, let's take an extended cab and the crew cab. We'll cut the whole pillar out. And we'll make that door latch into this one, make this one latch so you can open up the whole truck and there's no pillar in the center. Many of guys have tried to duplicate that, but it's never been pulled off again. You can build anything you want to build. You want to be above and beyond. You want to set the bar kind of where you show up the next show and everybody's like, golly, just like, what do you have? It's just cool to kind of have the tools and the facility to be able to take the crazy ideas and take them to reality.
Slim 6.2 LS black to match the rest of his Caddy. Matt's wiring it all up to give it a test fire.
Fire it up. Hell yeah. Clear?
Yeah. Good job, man. Good job. The 525 horse. Oh, Slim gonna be happy. You know, at the very end of a big job, sometimes it comes together all at once. And that's exactly how this one's going down.
Car jams, everything's hidden, nice clean lines, everything's smooth and sleek. Turned out real nice.
Today's the day, man. Oh my God. Slim Slim been driving me crazy about this whole car. I've been wanting a 59 Cadillac, man, since I can remember. Oh, man, I can't wait.
Slim Thug's having a party at his house today. Man, he's about as ready can be to see his car.
I can't wait, man.
Come on. That old dinosaur. That sore thumb.
We're gonna see what type of superhero you are, Bill.
I feel the pressure.
Man, Bill.
Y'all ready to check it out?
Yeah. Let's get it. Oh, man, look at that. Man, Bill. Sick, bro. This has far surpassed my expectations, man. I'm so happy with this. I really feel like I got my own personal Batmobile.
Man, last time you seen it, you was over there cutting the roof off.
Right. I told y'all it was a good idea. Now look at it. Man, y'all took this car to a whole new level.
Front to back, you see how slick this thing is and how much time and effort has been put into each and every piece of this car. Powder-coated frame, every panel's blown apart. Body work, there's not a lick of rust on that thing.
I feel like I'm in a dream right now. The paint, man, it's look like a candy black. When you look at it, you can just see so far into it. It's like a mirror.
Black chrome trim.
Black on black on black. That's what we asked for.
It don't get blacker than this.
Right, man. Black chrome came out pretty nice. Real nice. I like it. I was a little nervous because I ain't never see how that was going to look, but it really gave it a new feel. Sick, bro. Sick.
Of course, we had to have the air suspension on there, man.
Bag them up.
You gotta have it low and ride smooth.
Low to the flow.
Nice. 24-inch wheels. And Slim, I know you wanted them 24s.
Had to. Man, them 4s just look good.
Black with the black chrome on it. Get a little contrast on the wheel, too. People are gonna see this car and have to step their game up.
That's it, man.
We built his dream car for him, and that is a good feeling.
Wow. Man.
8,032 speakers, all hidden. You don't see anything in here.
I can't wait to hear this, bro. I see how the interior match everything.
Yeah, man.
Front to the back.
My interior guys just killed it. It's all handmade. And of course, black leather and suede.
Seats are sick.
The door panel's all been refashioned to get all that music inside the door.
Wow, let me get in here, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. Seat back. Yes, sir.
It's all Bluetooth, man. Just take your phone out, hit it.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Real Deal Bill executed to the fullest. Man, didn't he? Big shout out to Real Deal Bill. He the coldest in the game. It sounds like a concert on wheels.
I know you want to see the heart of this thing. An LS3 to 525 horseman.
That's crazy, man. I could drive this thing to New York, huh?
Hell yeah.
Bill, you killed it, bro. Well, I guess the only thing left now to do is drive it. That's the block, man. Let's do it. It's a real dream come true right here, bro. Finally, getting to drive my dream car old school, man.
I'm so proud of all my guys at the shop. No matter what the task is, they kick ass.
There's already something you don't see. But what you done did to this, man, for sure head turn everywhere we go, bro.
Well, that's what it's all about. It's out of whack. It's totally smashed in. This port support piece, we got a big gap. We'll see what this thing can do.
What's up, man? I need to be able to get this bike in the back of this truck.
There ain't no way you can do that safely. But we can make it happen by building you a custom air suspension trailer.
This is actually my first one to build, so no pressure.
That is awesome, bro.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
part, we do client builds here at Extensive. But I've been looking for a nice project to build a Baja truck out of, maybe even make a few. You got to start by buying it really, really low. My buddy Dave says he's got a truck for me that I have to come see. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, Bill? Good to see you.
Dave deals in vehicles that he buys at auctions. Most are ready to drive off the lot. Some are just a little bit more than parts. When buying a vehicle like this, you have to do your due diligence. This it?
Yeah, that's it. It's hurt.
Does look a little hurt.
Yeah, it got hit hard.
Hard.
He wasn't playing.
What happened with this truck?
They don't tell me what happened at the auction, but it just got wrecked. It's got low miles, though. Real low miles.
What's real low miles?
633.
Oh, man.
Good rear end, good motor, transmission.
Man, it looks good for parts.
Man, it's still got the new car smell.
Oh, yeah, she's new.
Just don't got new car look.
Man, this interior is so new, we don't even have to do anything to it.
You know, I was going to go ahead and salvage it, use the motor and transmission in one of my trucks.
Oh, no, man. We can put this thing back together.
You think so?
This 2017 F-150 rolled off the factory floor with a 5.0-liter Coyote V8 engine. It's the perfect starting platform for what I want to build. Man, you can see the bed still straight with the cab. There's nothing wrong with the back of the frame. It's just the front. Man, I'm seeing making this thing into a Baja truck.
A Baja truck?
We can jump it.
Jump it?
Yeah, man.
Man, this thing is missing a lot, Bill.
Well, that's where you come in, buddy.
Bill's not the kind of guy to scare easy. And seriously, I don't think there's anything he can't build. But this one needs a ton of parts and fixes. And on our dollar, that's what really scares me. Man, I didn't know we were picking it up to build. I thought this was parts.
Yeah, that's what I admire a lot about Bill. He always sees things that other people don't. It is brand new, Bill, but it's in pretty bad shape.
That means it's cheap for me, right?
Yeah, we can run a special. We always do.
Man, we're going to get it running. And you can come check it out, man. You can be there when it happens.
I'd like to be there. Let me know.
I trust you, but do you really want to take this pile home?
Come on, man, of course. Yep. Most of the time, you should just strip a truck like this for parts, but I've been doing this a long time. You see the right truck? It's endless possibilities. We're going to turn a pile of bent-up crap into something that's going to be really cool, man. I've been wanting to build a Baja pre-runner style truck for a while. Street legal truck, you can race and jump. This truck is a perfect thing. We gotta launch it.
By launch?
So,
how high are you talking?
Man, at least this high. Yup. You know, Baja truck is just made to take any terrain it can possibly go through. Sand, mud, gravel. That's what a truck like this is built for. Just the aggressive stance. You look at it, it just looks pissed off. It's in bad shape. I mean, you see, that's immediately what you see. To me, half of it's here. That's a head start. What better way to get a truck like this, very little money, and turn it into something really cool and able to jump up into the air.
Well, Timmy, here she is.
What are we doing with this? Take motor out, trans out, wheels, tires off. Couple doors look good.
Come on, man. We're gonna build a Baja truck.
Out of this.
Out of this. The truck is brand new. And on this, we're gonna have a little bit higher ground clearance in the front than the rear to go off-road, to jump things, and still be able to drive it on the street every day. Big, wide fenders to go along with those suspensions, so the control arms and everything have to be really long to be able to jump. Wide bed sides in the back just for that aggressive look. Bed cage in the back, big, huge shocks. We're gonna give this thing a second life and even better than it ever rolled off the assembly line. Spares in the back, we want the whole Baja look. I'm gonna drive it around. Who knows, somebody might need it in their life.
So you're gonna drive like Bill, and we're gonna drive it to the max. Anything we fix after that is roadworthy 100% because you drive,
hell yeah,
200% worse than anybody I know. Or nothing breaks, we'll just keep it as a shop truck.
Take it to lunch every day.
Lunch, Bill's credit card for gas.
No?
I'll sell it then.
He thinks he's gonna sell it when he finishes it? I'll believe it when I see it.
You know, looking at this truck, you can tell it got hit really hard in the front passenger side, and it's obvious we're going to replace body panels. But man, we need to tear this thing down and see what kind of frame damage there is. The back's good. I don't have any concern at all with this. Let's get the front of this thing all tore apart.
Front end looks a little bit jacked up. You wouldn't even call it a front end.
It's like somebody had already started repairing it. I seen it all wrapped up. Now I see it got hit way harder than I thought it did. Man, the whole throttle body's missing.
Probably gonna need a new one anyways. Get some power.
Well, let's get it tore apart, man. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we need. Dang. You see the little charcoal canister is totally busted. The deep gouge in the cross member, gouge in the transmission pan. The front of the frame is totally out of whack. You can tell somebody's already tried to repair it. I'm nervous about how the uncompleted repair job is done. Hopefully from the point they repaired back is all good. But we won't know anything until we run the string line and go from there. We're going old school to measure the straightness of the frame. You know, plumb bob's just a tool of just knowing if you have a straight line or not. Sometimes you don't have a point you can just run a tape measure right off of. So if you drop a plumb bob, which is just a weighted string, that gives you a perfectly level string to measure off of. So you can measure from each side of the frame to the plumb bob to know if you're perfectly center on that. If it lines up with your horizontal string, you know you're
off by an eighth.
At the same time, we'll level this thing. So the level will tell us if it's out of whack this way, and the string line will tell us if everything's completely straight that way.
It can go up a little bit on the passenger side. Pretty good. Check out that front truck. Aha, it's out of whack.
Make it level. Let me see how far off it is. The front end is definitely tweaked a little bit. It's a little off center. We want this thing to drive perfectly straight down the road. We want everything 100% in line, no alignment issues. We don't want it pulling off to one side or another. We're going to be abusing this thing. Well, I am. We're going to put it to the test, so I want to make sure everything's going to hold up to what we're going to throw at it. First thing we need to do on the F-150 is repair the frame. It's not just the damage from the accident, but the bad repair job. Elu's going to cut that out. We're going to start all over. Down. All right, perfect. Elu's got all this cut loose. It lines up perfect with our string line. Plumb bob is 100%. It's perfectly level. Last step is just weld this thing up. Man, Lulu, that looks real good, man. Can't even tell anything ever even happened to it. It's just not the frame needs to be fixed, but the whole passenger side core support was damaged in the accident. So Rudy's going to pull off the bad piece and install a new one.
This F-150 has been in a real bad accident. So what we found was this core support piece, it should be nice and straight here and then curve out. But as you can tell, if we put a straight edge here on the straight part, we got a big gap here. So a little gap here is going to create an even bigger gap here on the end. So we're going to go ahead and pull this piece out, bring in a new piece. It's nice and straight. And that way, when our fenders go on, they should bolt up nice and perfect. So the core support is the structural frame of the front end. Our headlights, radiator, grill, bumper, all that bolts up. It needs to be nice and straight for everything to fit perfect. We got our new core support fender piece in. As you can see, this one's nice and straight. So we'll go ahead and bolt it all up. After that, we'll be good to go.
much as anything else, I think we're in the problem-solving business. And today, Chad and Melinda, they got a good one for us. They own a local bar and restaurant, and they build their own custom bikes, and they paint everything orange. I mean, everything. What's up, man?
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good, man.
Known Bill for about 15 years. One of the first trucks that I ever worked on. Bill did the air ride suspension on it for me.
What you got here? This new one you built?
Yeah, we got it done not too long ago. It's a 08 Road King that we built. Put the 30-inch front wheel on it, fully bagged it out. Of course, our orange color on it.
Man, it looks good.
Thank you. But we're having a little issue. I need to be able to get this bike in the back of this truck. So I need to come up with some type of ramp system, some kind of mechanism that'll fold out, something.
Man, come on. You can't be... There ain't no way you could do that safely.
Got to figure out a way to get it hauled.
Some air suspension trailer that it can drop completely flat on the ground. You can ride this bike right up on it, strap it down. Easy. And safe.
A custom trailer. That sounds expensive.
What's expensive is dropping this off of a ramp coming out of the back of this truck or hurting yourself.
Bill's vision is just different than anybody else's. When it comes to metalwork, he's a true artist. My thing is, of course, is go with the orange theme. Everything's got to match.
Hell yeah. We can powder coat it orange, no problem. Put some black wheels on it. Make everything flow and match and look totally custom.
You good with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool, man. Let's go right up. Let's get you going, man. You can't be having no ramp. Come on.
All right, let's do it.
Back in 2000, I had an idea for an air suspension motorcycle trailer that is set completely flat on the ground. Had a bike, didn't have a truck at the time, so problem solved, air suspension trailer. A lot of people just see a steel rack, but when you have a steel rack, it's endless possibilities of what you can build. Anybody that's ever put a motorcycle in the back of a truck, they know how sketchy it is and how dangerous and how much it's going to cost. And this just solves all the problems. Just makes it super easy. Ride the bike right up on it, strap it down, air it up, and you're on your way. Jamie's one of our best fabricators and a biker himself, so he's going to help me build this trailer.
Thanks, man.
Each and every one of these trailers start out on the same template, but we customize each one depending on the style and size of the bike. And this one, it's got to be orange.
So there's a lot of tube on this trailer. It's probably about maybe close to 60 foot. It needs to be pretty strong to hold up his bike. It's a pretty heavy bike. So everything needs to be cut exactly. There's a lot of angles on this trailer. If I get one of them wrong, it could look crooked. It could not be the same on each side. I need to ditto each side and make everything perfect to the jig. So it's real important all my cuts fit nicely. This is actually my first one to build, so no pressure.
Me and Jamie worked late into the night to make this custom trailer for Chad and Melinda. The frame is mostly welded up. Now it's time for the airbags. Jamie cut one of two suspension links, so we're going to put this bar through it, and then it's going to pivot on the bolt. This is actually going to be the suspension to the trailer. So you see there's no traditional trailer axle going all the way through it. The spindle of the wheel is going to be right here mounted. We're going to trim it all down so the fender will weld right to it, but that's it. When this thing's all done, it's going to be years and years of trouble-free towing. There you go, man. Hell yeah. Tack it. All right, cool. Hell yeah. This is the same basic system we use on our cars and our trucks. And you can see when you put air in this, as soon as you hit a switch, the valve opens, air goes right into the bag, lifts the arm up, trailer raises. So that's basically the whole suspension in this thing. Now Now to fit the big wheels. Yeah, get that up there, a few quick measurements, and start wrapping it up. You know, we don't have a fixture for this, so every one of these are custom to the wheel, the tire, everything varies on this. So we build everything one off. You see the links we go to make sure everything looks 100% straight. Jump up, measure that real quick. Nobody's going to notice if it's 100% perfect, but they're damn sure going to notice if it's crooked.
Man, that's perfect.
That's what I'm talking about. Now that the frame is straight, we're going to install a long travel suspension on this F-150, which is specially designed for the pre-runners.
Knowing Bill, I know he's going to drive this out of this thing. So these control arms need to be long, strong, and sturdy, which they are. It's going to be perfect for giving us that suspension travel to make sure we don't roll this thing over. It's the last thing this truck wants to do. We're installing the coilovers and shock. A coilover is a shock and spring compacted into one unit. This allows adjustment for no purpose. Of course, Bill's gonna go with the biggest shock he can. He needs the biggest shock to have the softest landing.
Push it down at the same time.
The shocks keep the truck from bouncing, so it sticks to the road better, no matter how bumpy the road gets. We got our whole setup here installed. Our spindle, our lower control arm, upper control arm, our coilovers, and our shocks. Our wheel is gonna stick out pretty far out from the body due to our longer control arms. Give us a little bit more travel on our suspension. As much travel as we can get, the better for us.
Now, Elu and Rudy are installing the brakes. This thing is going to take a beating. It's very important to have super strong stainless steel brake lines.
We don't want the line getting kinked up or ripped up, because if the brake line breaks loose, gets cut, this thing ain't stopping. We really need this brake line to work.
Elu is installing the limiting strap. The limiting strap keeps the suspension all nice and tight, so when you leave the ground, it just won't overextend and get all in a bind.
Now that I have all the limited strap mounted and the brake line mounted, well, the next step is to mount these reservoirs that are just hanging out right now, but we're gonna fasten them down for whenever he's up in the air, they won't be all over the place.
That's in. That's perfect.
The frame on this F-150 is good as new. To turn this thing into a pre-runner, we're going to add some reinforcements. I mean, 4,000-pound truck landing nose first, you know, it's going to take a beating. So we want to build a brace goes from tower to tower. So when we jump this thing, the towers just don't fold in because they're so tall. And that's a ton of leverage coming down.
Sounds good.
We'll roll a piece and hit your half schedule 80 something real heavy, and then we'll bend it so it gives it a nice little contour, little style to it. All right, man. Let's get my little notepad out here. Got 9 and 7/8. I'll roll it and we'll just lay it out on the table. I just want a little bit of. No, that's good. You know, just don't want it straight. Want a little style to it. But going off the little quick, simple sketch and the measurements I took off the truck and just transferring it over onto a piece of paper so it's actual size. Set my angle on the old computer here. As long as I transferred my measurements to my paper correct, it should fit perfect. First time. Should. This machine uses a hydraulic piston to force a precise bend into our pipes. I say that's it. Now we just gotta cut it. We got our marks. Next step, chop it up, put it on. Think it's gonna fit, Lulu?
We find out in a minute. We set it down.
Man, that'll work. You know, with this being bent so much, it makes it weak here. When you bend a pipe, it weakens it a little, so I'm gonna double it up and make this thing super strong. Let's bend one more. We'll kind of lean them apart and we'll have
extra strength, man, for jumping.
Oh yeah, it'll be a lot stronger.
That's it, man. That looks good. Let's tack it. Man, that thing's gonna be super strong, Lulu. That's never gonna fold up on us. Right in the middle of this, man, to hold all this together, it'll be pretty tight. The engine brace for the F-150 is almost ready. Rudy's burning out a plate so we can tie this thing all together. It's gonna be super strong.
Go ahead and hand it off to Bill. You can go ahead and weld it on the Baja truck.
How's that look? Man, that looks good, Rudy. Tack this thing in. We're just gonna pull this thing off, take it over the table, weld it up. This is one of the things that nobody's ever gonna see, but I know it's there. Every part and piece of this is done right. And that's how we did it. All welded up, ready to go to the powder coater. Because we're turning this truck into a Baja style pre-runner, it has longer front suspension. It's gonna make the wheels stick out farther than the factory fender wells. So I'm having Charlie and Fernando modify the fenders and the bedsides to make this thing all fit.
Being that Bill wants to jump this thing, we need to make sure we've got a ton of clearance in here, so that way that when he does jump, there is clearance and the tires don't hit the inner wheel wells and he doesn't have a problem with that. So the first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna drill out all the rivets that they have in here holding this out, and then we'll remove this outer shell, and then once we remove that, we'll trim it all off, and we'll use a piece of this to actually keep it extended out, and then we'll build our own wheel well and make it all uniform. This piece is already all mocked in of where we think we want it at, and so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the fiberglass bedside in and double check everything, check our measurements, make sure they're all good to go so we can continue on with the rest of the form of the fender weld. Looking in here, you can see how we made everything mount to the factory edge, so when you look at it all in one piece, everything flows in like if it was made that way. You know, once we get it all mounted and attached to there, you ain't gonna know that we ever even did this. That's where we're going. All right, thanks guys, appreciate it, man.
Charlie's laying out the fiberglass mat to mend this thing all together. It's gonna be super strong and super light. Fernando is filling in all the little cracks and crevices with body filler, so it's gonna be and we just got this thing back from powder coat. Everything looks good as it always does. Chad is gonna be ecstatic. It matches with everything in his collection. So just gonna put everything in this tongue box. All the essentials to make this thing work is all right here. Cool, what we got so far, obviously the battery, air compressor, and 3 sets of valves. So we have a valve for the tongue, a valve for the left, a valve for the right. No matter what the load is, if it's an offset load, you can add a little more pressure to the left. Or if you got a little more weight on the right, you add a little more pressure to the right. Ready for that tank. Yeah. Cool, we got everything mounted in place. Only thing left to do is just wiring and run some lines. That's it. Every Sunday. They're going to be showing up here any minute to his new bar. So I figure what better place to give him his trailer.
That's freaking awesome. Man, damn, bro, that's freaking sick. I didn't even imagine this, bro. That's over the top.
So good.
That is insane.
So you gotta have the orange bike, I know.
Man, you know, I wouldn't accept it if it wasn't. So it's perfect.
It's full air suspension. Of course, you know, it has 3 bags. It has a bag on each wheel and a bag on the tongue. So you can leave this thing hooked up to any vehicle and drop this thing completely flat. So it's super stable. You know, you ride your bike right upon it, strap it down, air it up, you're good to go.
It doesn't get much better than that, bro.
Yeah, man.
When we talked about doing something like this, that's why we went to Bill. You know, I knew he'd come up with something that would work perfect for us, and just the fact that he can, you know, build something out of nothing is amazing.
Check it out. Let me show you how to work this thing.
Yeah, let's check this thing out.
Everything's inside here. All the switches. You see the tank, compressor, valving. Everything is all in here. Hit the 2 switches. Air the back up.
That's freaking awesome. That is awesome, bro. Man, that's insane. Oh, when Bill hit the switches, I mean, that was really cool.
Yeah.
For it to be 3 different bags, 3 different switches, you know, all fully adjustable, to be able to work behind any vehicle that we pull it behind is going to be really cool. Definitely feel safe putting my bike on it. And the last thing to see is how it fits on the trailer.
Yeah, hopefully it fits.
There you go.
Wow.
Man, that's insane.
Man, it fits. When Chad rode that bike up on the trailer, it's obvious it's 100% package complete now.
Perfect match.
Bro, that's insane.
That looks really good.
Man, this is way better than ramps, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
And cooler.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Definitely cooler. It definitely flows.
Put this thing up, man. See how it picks it up.
8 voyage.
Oh, wow.
That is
So glad you got that.
Ready to go.
Yeah, this looks really good. The bike, the trailer, the truck. You did a fantastic job.
That's awesome, bro.
I am so happy that we had Bill build this for us. It just looks amazing, and I'm super excited to get it out on the road.
Now with the front suspensions all installed on the Baja, it's time to get that rear end in.
But I'm just hanging off the back. Make sure the truck don't go forward. Good?
Oh, we got to remove the factory leaf springs, but everything's in the way. The gas tank is coming off, and we're moving the exhaust just to get to that one bolt to get the springs out.
You're good? This is our factory leaf spring, and this is our new spring we got right now. You can see the difference. One's way thicker than the other one. Our new leaf springs packed with a whole lot more leaves for better absorption, whereas our factory one only has about 3. So this was pretty much made for potholes, and this was made for big ass jumps. Now we got the leaf springs on. We're gonna go ahead and throw the rear end on there and bolt it up. Whoop. All right, hold it. Get that side fastened down. We got the U-bolt plates. Hang on for a second, Rudy. When you're down on your luck, just hang in there.
Mesh in. All we need to do now is install the shocks, new wheels and tires, and it's ready for a test run. On the rear leaf springs on the Baja F-150. I love how this thing's turning out with the big shocks, 16 inches of travel, you know, attached to the new long travel leaf springs. I can't wait to get the big wide fenders on it and go test this thing out. Matter of fact, we'll put the wheels on it, go see what this thing can do. The stock tires just aren't going to cut it, so we're replacing it with 37-inch high-performance off-road tires. I really want to see how the suspension does, how it reacts when it hits bumps and dips, and there's all kind of little fine-tuning tricks that you can do to this type of suspension. But, you know, don't know till you really put your foot to the floor and see what kind of reaction you get out of the truck itself, putting bigger tires tires on it. You know, it's always a concern for not enough power. I call this the spot test.
Spot size.
That was fun. Man, overall, it was a good run. I mean, there's definitely some tuning on the shocks, but we got to get this thing up in the air, at least over spot. I mean, it shouldn't be very hard to do. We need a lot more power and a lot bigger jump. When I get back, I'm calling Justin and put me one bad turbo system on here, man. What's up, man?
So it's Carlton.
So I want to launch this thing, and it just don't have the power to do what we need to do.
Well, good thing you got this Coyote motor, man. These 5.0s are good platforms. We can do a single turbo, something that'll come in, hit hard, hit like nitrous, man. It'll be good for this pre-runner build. You can see about 20 horsepower per pound of boost.
It'll be enough for Bill.
No Bill, man, no telling.
What's the plan?
What we can do is we can use the factory flanges, and we can build from those flanges forward to our turbo.
All right, I guess we start taking that exhaust down.
Since we're going to tie into the factory manifolds, it's easier just to go ahead and use the factory OEM flanges and build from this point forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut these off, and we're going to try to save it where we can use these O2 bones so we can use the factory flanges. Matt, this one should be ready, man.
It'll be a good start.
We'll start working on the hot side, which is everything on the turbine side of their turbocharger. Buddy Matt, he's going to start on the cold side, which is like the intake and the discharge off the compressor housing. The hot side of this turbo kit is what feeds the turbine wheel. That's where, I guess, the magic happens. The air comes in, and it pressures it up and pushes it out into the intake manifold.
A turbocharger is basically an air pump. It forces more air into the engine. You get more air.
This thing should spool really, really fast with the dual inlets feeding off of each bank of this 5-liter Coyote motor. So now we got the turbocharger bolted in. We're going to go ahead and start connecting to our intercooler.
Matt's trying to install the intercooler on the F-150, but it just won't fit.
End tanks were kind of hitting on the inside of the frame rails. So we went ahead and we cut them to get it to fit. Now we got to modify and fabricate new pieces so we can go ahead and put our inlets on our intercooler. After we cut it, the coupler that slides on there, it'll want to blow off. So we put a little bead around it to keep it from coming off. I'm going to cut it on the saw and then make our bend. So now that we have our end cap tacked into place, we got 2 more plates that we need to make, and then we can go ahead and weld this side out. Now that we have our end tanks modified on our intercooler where it fits in between the frame rails, we're going to go ahead and get it installed now.
Looks like it was made to be there.
We're going to give it a once over. We still got to run our oil supply line, our drain line. We got a couple fittings that we need to install. This is our downpipe on the fender zone. We'll know exactly where we need to go with it.
Charlie and Tim are finishing up the body modifications on the front of this Baja.
We set the fenders up here and rough them in, see what we got.
Yeah. With way wider fenders and a fiberglass hood.
Right now, I'm making sure that the fiberglass fender doesn't hit none of the original mounts or on the cab or anything like that. So if it does, we're going to mark it now, trim it out, and then test fit it again and see how we look. Boy, look at that. That's 100% better right there.
Let's grab the hood.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
This thing is going to be a beast.
And it's going to look real cool.
My dad always told me that when I was little, I loved getting those little die-cast model cars you had to put together. buy me one, and then he would see me put it together, and then he'd see me taking it apart, and then put it together again. It was always a fascination in tearing apart vehicles and building something better than what we already had. Our biggest tool and one of my favorite tools is our plasma cutter. Before, there was plenty of parts that we would have to do hands-on, whereas now, computer does it all in what I would do before. Bill hates computers, and to me, computers is one of the biggest things I like to use. When we first got the machine, nobody really knew how to run it or who was going to run it. And I asked him, I was like, hey, so who's going to do it? And he just kind of like looked at me and was like, well, who else? Working with Bill, he does have high expectations for everybody, which is a good thing. He doesn't want anybody else to fail, because the way I see it is if we fail, then he fails. So, of course, he's going to want us to exceed in everything that we do, but of course, he always wants it done in 2 minutes. So.
We finished the frame and the bodywork on the Baja build, but one day I'm going to sell it. So I'm going to pick a paint color that's just going to turn heads. Charlie Murphy.
So, man, what you got now?
Man, I need to pick a color for the old Baja.
Man, what color you thinking about?
Let me get this paint chip off and see what's up. Probably one of them two.
One of them two? That one right there?
That's it, man. I chose a burnt orange metallic that'll make this Baja look like none other.
So this is what we got here. This is the color that Bill wanted. It has a lot of pearl in it and a lot of metallic in it. And as you can see, it looks real good under the light. The first thing I painted when I was a kid, I painted a bicycle. You know, I started out rattle cannon, and you know, and it started from there, and everything just kind of escalated. And then I ended up painting a 71 GMC, which was, you know, my truck. Me and my uncle did it together, and that was an experience. And then from that point on, it was over for me. There was no going back. So this here is an unusual color for the Baja truck because half a gallon is pearl. Usually you got like 15, 20 grams. This one here's got 700 grams of pearl. And then it's got 600 grams of a different pearl, so that's half a gallon right there, you know what I mean? So this is gonna be beautiful out in the sun when he jumps over Spot's head.
When I see something in my head, I know I can do it. I know I can do it. This F-150 was a little rough when I first got it. We transformed it into a totally different truck. Dave is in for a huge surprise. He has no idea. I'm heading out with my guys to test out this Baja truck. As promised, I invited Dave to come check it out.
Y'all got that truck done, huh?
You're going to be blown away when you see this truck.
Really?
It's not the same truck that we got from you.
Damn, that is completely different.
Now I can say I told you so.
You sure that's the same truck? Damn, I cannot believe it.
Yeah, man. Sure you can do it.
Still can do it.
In typical Bill fashion, you know.
Gotta tear it up.
Told you.
You sure that's the same truck?
Promise you.
Come on. Bill, you sure that's the same truck?
Man, I can see why Dave is shocked. This thing doesn't look anything like it used to.
Well, you did a lot of work to that thing.
Man, a lot. Started off fixing the frame. We put the frame back together so it's nice and straight now. The integrity's back in there.
I never would have thought you'd have been able to fix it.
We went ahead and took off all the old suspension, what was left of it, threw on their new long travel suspension, put some big old shocks and coilovers in the front.
Man, it looks good.
Of course, you see the color change on the whole truck.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the grill, the bumpers, and the super wide fiberglass fenders and bedsides, man. That thing just looks so angry and pissed off when it's coming at you.
It does.
Little bed cage in the back, holding the spares.
Sounds like I heard a turbo on that thing.
Yeah, man. You know, we had a little test drive and it just wasn't getting it, so it needed a little more power.
You gotta have more power. That's always.
Custom made a whole turbo setup for this truck. Big stainless exhaust piping through it, intercooler tubes, all that stuff. Did it right. We about to see how much power it's got.
Yeah.
Man, I said I wanted this thing to jump over Spot. Last time we couldn't even get it over Santa. Man, and now it's time to give it another try with that new turbo.
There we go. There we go. Come on. Go.
pumping one through the air. You got to have a good team. And I got some of the best around. I can't thank my guys enough.
Bad.
You got this. You got it.
Hell yeah.
Man, that's going to work. I told you. I know. Yeah. Hey, Bill, I got to tell you, I never thought you'd have pulled it off. Man, that truck was hit hard, and you made it come out good. I really like that thing back. You think we can do something around 75?
Oh, man, come on. That thing's still too new, man. I need a little bit. Let the new wear off. I'll give you first choice, man, when it comes time.
I'm interested. Let me know.
All right. I wasn't planning on selling this truck today, but, you know, after I'm